Jimmy Butler is about to become the most dangerous weapon in the hands of the Golden State Warriors. This is the decision that will determine the fate of an entire dynasty. Kendrick Perkins warns, this gamble could either take them to the top or bring everything crashing down with Curry in the twilight of his prime. Is Butler, at 35 with a history of injuries, the final weapon to secure a championship, or is he the spark that will ignite the downfall of everything?
If I were to ask you to pick one team that you have on your radar that potentially could shake things up if they don't get off to a quick start, if things don't go well out the gate, who are you looking at?
Oh, I'm going down to South Beach, and not to wiggle my toes in the sand, but I'm looking at the Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler, right? What's going on with Jimmy Butler? Think about the Miami Heat over the last, year and a half, right? They wanted Damian Lillard wanted to go there. They didn't get him. Drew Holiday came available. They didn't get Drew Holiday. All of a sudden, Jimmy Butler wasn't available in the postseason. Pat Riley goes on this big old rant, right, in his season interview about guys being available. And I'm right when I say this, right? Jimmy Butler hasn't signed a contract extension with the Miami Heat.
That's right.
So I think we got to keep an eye out on Eric Spoelstra, Bam, and Jimmy Butler down there in South Beach.
The Golden State Warriors are in an unfamiliar place. For nearly a decade, they were the team to beat, but times have changed. Steph Curry, now 36, is still one of the greatest shooters in NBA history, but the supporting cast around him has dwindled. With Klay Thompson now in Dallas and the team's recent struggles, the Warriors find themselves clinging to their remaining championship window. Curry is still producing all-star numbers, but he can't carry the load forever. And this is where the rumors about Jimmy Butler come into play. But why Butler? Kendrick Perkins has been vocal about the Warriors needing a second star to step up alongside Curry, saying they need someone who brings that fire, that dog mentality, and that's Butler. Butler's leadership, tenacity, and playoff experience make him a logical target, especially for a team looking to get back to the finals. But it's not without its risks. Butler is 35, and in the past 5 seasons has not played over 65 games. His injury history is a major concern. Would the Warriors be willing to gut their roster and future for an aging star with a track record of missing key games? If this trade happens, the Warriors will likely part ways with rising stars like Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and possibly even draft picks. In essence, they'd be sacrificing their future for a shot at short-term success. Butler's playoff experience could be a game changer, but his fit within the Warriors' fast-paced, three-point-centric system remains a looming question. Curry and the Warriors' offense thrives on off-ball movement and quick shots from deep. Butler, while capable of hitting threes, is not a volume shooter. In fact, his strength lies in the mid-range game, which contrasts with the Warriors' typical offensive structure. This is a franchise-altering decision. As Kendrick Perkins noted, the Warriors are playing with fire. They're betting everything on Butler's body holding up, and that's the risk here. Butler's injury history is no small matter. If he gets hurt again, Golden State could be left with a gutted roster and an aging core that's running out of steam. But the flip side, if Butler stays healthy, the Warriors could form a new big three with Curry and Draymond Green, revitalizing their championship hopes. It's a double-edged sword, and the Warriors know it. Can the Warriors afford to gamble on Butler's health, or are they setting themselves up for failure? Down in South Beach, Pat Riley is facing one of the toughest decisions of his storied career. Jimmy Butler, the heart and soul of the Miami Heat, wants to get paid. He's eligible for a 2-year, $112.9 million extension, but the Heat have been hesitant to commit. Why? Because Butler is 35 and has a well-documented history of injuries. Even with Butler's leadership, Miami is taking a calculated risk if they decide to keep him. Butler missed the entire playoffs last season due to a knee injury, and over the last 5 seasons, he hasn't played more than 65 regular season games. Pat Riley has been cagey about the situation. When asked about Butler's future, he deflected, saying, "We haven't discussed that a Butler extension internally right now. We don't have to do it until 2025. Actually, but let's be real, this isn't just about timing. This is about whether the Heat can afford to pay top dollar for a player who may not be able to stay on the court." Kendrick Perkins weighed in on this dilemma, stating, "Miami's got to think long-term. Butler's a great player, but they're going to be stuck if he can't stay healthy." Butler, for all his grit and determination, comes with financial and physical baggage. The Heat have already invested heavily in Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro, so committing to Butler would essentially tie up their salary cap for the foreseeable future. If they extend him and his body breaks down, the Heat could find themselves in a similar situation as the Lakers did with an aging Kobe Bryant paying max money for diminishing returns. The Heat are at a crossroads. Kendrick Perkins highlighted the key issue: they love Butler, but love ain't enough in this league. It's about staying healthy and getting results. Miami has to weigh the emotional attachment to Butler with the cold, hard facts he's getting older, and his body is breaking down. If the Heat hold on too long, they could end up watching him walk away in free agency, leaving them with nothing in return. But if they move him now, they could secure young assets and future picks to build around Bam Adebayo. It's a tough call, but one that could define the next chapter of Miami Heat basketball. Will the Heat hold on to Butler and risk losing him for nothing, or will they make the tough decision to move on? Now, why are the Atlanta Hawks involved in this three-team deal? At first glance, it may seem like the Hawks are just facilitators in this trade, but there's more to it. The Hawks, still dealing with the aftermath of the DeJounte Murray trade, are looking to restock their assets. By getting involved in this deal, they could secure 2 valuable first-round picks, a 2027 first-rounder from Golden State and a 2031 first-rounder from Miami. These picks would be crucial in either fueling a rebuild or adding pieces around their star, Trae Young. But that's not all. Andrew Wiggins, who many consider an overpaid underperformer right now, could find new life in Atlanta. Playing alongside a ball-dominant guard like Trae Young might allow Wiggins to flourish as a third or even fourth option. And let's not forget Nikola Jovic. While he's still raw, he has the potential to develop into a solid rotation player with size and shooting ability. Kendrick Perkins pointed out, Atlanta could come out as the quiet winner here. They're getting picks and pieces without giving up much. That said, there are risks. Wiggins' contract is hefty, and if he doesn't perform, the Hawks could be saddled with another albatross contract, similar to the one they just moved off in DeAndre Hunter. It's a gamble, but one that Atlanta might be willing to take, especially with the draft picks in play. For the Hawks, this trade is less about contending now and more about setting themselves up for the future. Kendrick Perkins hit the nail on the head. Atlanta's in a position to grab assets and get out clean. They're playing the long game. And with Trae Young still in his prime, this deal could help them build a sustainable contender in the next few years. But the Wiggins gamble is real. If he doesn't rediscover his form from the 2022 playoffs, the Hawks could end up regretting this move. Can the Hawks leverage this trade to build a brighter future, or will they be stuck with another bad contract? Here's the million-dollar question. Is Jimmy Butler really the right fit for Golden State? The Warriors have built their dynasty on a foundation of pace, space, and long-range shooting. Butler, for all his talents, is not known for his three-point shooting. In fact, only 20% of his attempts come from beyond the arc, compared to the high-volume three-point shooters the Warriors are accustomed to. Kendrick Perkins raised a valid point when he said, Golden State's system is built for shooters. Butler's more of a mid-range killer. Can he adapt? It's not just about fit, though. The Warriors would be giving up major assets to bring Butler on board. Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and possibly future draft picks would be part of the package. For a team that's already aging, losing young players like Kuminga could severely hamper their long-term flexibility. Butler is a star, no doubt, but is he worth gutting the team's future for? And can he stay healthy enough to make a real difference? But if Butler can fit into the Warriors system and stay on the court, his presence could transform Golden State into a legitimate contender again. His defense, leadership, and ability to score in clutch moments are exactly what the Warriors need to complement Curry. It's a high-risk, high-reward scenario, and the Warriors front office knows it. But here's the kicker. If Butler doesn't fit, the Warriors could find themselves in a worse position than they are now. Kendrick Perkins warned, if Butler's body breaks down, this trade will be the end of the Warriors' dynasty. It's a gamble, no doubt. But at the same time, if Butler can adapt to the Warriors' style and stay healthy, this could be the move that brings Curry another ring. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the pressure is on the Warriors' front office to make the right call. Can Butler's arrival revitalize the Warriors, or will it mark the beginning of their downfall? This isn't just a trade, it's a defining moment for all three teams involved. The Golden State Warriors are risking their future for one last shot at a title. The Miami Heat are weighing whether to commit to an aging star or pivot towards a new era built around Bam Adebayo. And the Atlanta Hawks are looking to stockpile assets and set themselves up for long-term success. Kendrick Perkins summed it up perfectly. This trade is about legacy. It's about making or breaking these teams. For the Warriors, this could be their last chance to give Curry the help he needs to compete for another ring. For Miami, it's a question of whether they're ready to move on from Butler and invest in younger talent. And for the Hawks, it's about building for the future while taking calculated risks with players like Andrew Wiggins. If this trade goes down, it will reshape the NBA landscape. The Warriors could reignite their dynasty or implode. Miami could finally move on from Butler and start a new chapter. And the Hawks could quietly come out as the real winners, gathering assets for a brighter future. As Kendrick Perkins pointed out, this is a league of risks, and sometimes you've got to roll the dice. The only question left is who's willing to take the biggest gamble. As the rumors swirl and the NBA landscape shifts, one thing is clear: Jimmy Butler's potential move to Golden State is the biggest story of the offseason. Kendrick Perkins, ever the voice of reason, said it best. This trade could define the next 5 years of the NBA. Butler joining Curry and Draymond Green could either be a masterstroke or the final nail in the Warriors' coffin. The Heat, the Warriors, and the Hawks are all at a crossroads, and their decisions in the coming weeks will shape the future of the league. Stay tuned for more updates as this story continues to develop. Will Jimmy Butler make his way to the Bay Area, or will this trade fall apart before it ever gets off the ground? Either way, the NBA is in for a wild ride.